Hey folks, welcome back to Noman Reviews for another toy review. Today we're going to unbox and review Guts Black Swordsman by Threezero. As a fan of the manga, I am very excited to check out this 1/6 scale figure. The soft goods and the accessories look really well crafted and highly detailed. Though I'm a bit apprehensive because the original was hit by some QC issues, so hopefully they fixed that in this reissue. Before we take this to the lightbox for a deeper examination, may I request that you tap that like button and subscribe button to support my channel. Very nice tall shoebox design by Threezero for this Guts toy. You can see a portrait of Guts right in front. The armor looks really detailed. I can't wait to open this box and see how it looks. I like the simple color scheme, black and white, looks pretty good. The back of the box has manga style art of Guts and some legalese at the bottom, some branding too. So I can't wait to open this shoebox. I've already cut the tape. So let's get this box open. Here you have a booklet. Beautiful insert. Manga style art of Guts. So inside the box you have two layers. Top layer has Guts. Alternative head, hands. Let's take a quick look at Guts. We'll look at it more in detail later. Wow. Incredible detail on the soft goods. That's a seamless arm. Face. I'm not completely sold on the portrait, I must admit. Doesn't look quite like the manga or the animated shows. It's good enough, but I feel like the sculpt that came with the Berserker edition was much better. So this is not bad. The paint apps are pretty good. It's serviceable. This is the second portrait. Like it, it's pretty good. But I still think the portrait that came with the Berserker edition was a home run, and this is not quite there, but it's good. Bottom layer has the Dragon Slayer sword, his cape, crossbow, which looks fantastic, and crossbow in a closed mode. Always a good idea to read the manual to avoid damaging your figure and to learn how to use the accessories correctly. This is a pretty short manual by Threezero, but I love the illustrations. Teaches you how to change the head, how to take out the weapons, change the hands, manage the mechanical arm, manage the crossbows, add the sword to the back, and put on the cloak. So Threezero's Guts Black Swordsman version, of course, comes with a generous amount of accessories. And not only do you have a lot of accessories, but they are beautifully crafted. Love the mold work. I love the paint applications too. You have 3 bandaged hands. You've got 2 sculpts. Of course, one was on the body. I took it off. You've got the stand, the Dragon Slayer sword. You've got this open crossbow. You've also got a folded crossbow that you can fit in the back. And you've got some parts for that folded crossbow. Very easy to put it together, as we saw in the manual. You've got this very nice cloak. 5 throwing knives. So I've only managed to get one out, and that with great difficulty. I'm not going to take the other 4 out, but they are on his body, as you can see. Really high quality plastic, very thick, and sharp too. Poke, poke, ouch. Love all the wear that they've given to this. The dagger, equally well made. Very nice quality plastic. Again, sharp at the end. Love the bandaging on the handle. The guard, very rich paint applications. Though I do wish that there was a speck of blood on it, just like the dragon sword. Still can't complain. Again, it was on his body, it was in the sheath. This was very easy to take out, unlike the throwing knives. The 3 bandage hands look fantastic, really nicely molded. You can see the dirt in the fingernails thanks to the beautiful paint applications. The skin tone looks great too. Love all that blood on the bandages, on the fingers. Just simply beautiful. If you look up close at the bandages, you can see the texture. They've done so well with this. The open crossbow looks absolutely gorgeous. Beautiful paint applications. Love the grain on the wood here. Here looks very authentic. Paint applications on the metal part, very nice. Good wear, good wash. Feels quite delicate though. The closed crossbow along with the parts, again, very nicely painted. Again, the silver dry brushing gives it that wear. Nice wash on top too. I do like that both bows are articulated. For example, you can move this piece here, move this here. The Dragon Slayer sword is an absolute beast. Very nice plastic, very sturdy. Love the bandaged handle. Love all the blood. Beautiful paint applications. Feels good too. Some dry brushing here. This is the flagship accessory and they have spared no detail. It's gorgeous. The base is very generic. It's so generic that I don't even know why they included it. I would rather not have a base than have a base like this one. Feels kind of cheap, the plastic. As usual, a great job on the cape by Threezero. Very thick fabric. Lots of wear, lots of battle scars. Dirt at the base. Nice paint applications. Nicely dyed. And thick material, and of course it's wired. I'm always happy with the capes that Threezero does, and this is no exception. I must confess I wasn't too impressed by the stoic looking sculpt straight out of the box. I feel like Prime 1 statues really nailed that portrait for Guts, but this is growing on me. It has an anime style look. It's not completely accurate to the manga, but it's not bad, and I like the Berserk look even more. Really nice paint applications. The hair looks good too. Some battle scars on his face. Good skin tone. The eyes look fantastic. The paint applications are very clean, fortunately, though there is some bleeding on the ear, unfortunately, but it's not a deal breaker for me. Just wanted to compare these sculpts to the sculpt from Guts Nightmare version. I realized that these sculpts are a bit older and this is a reissue. Still, I feel like the Nightmare version sculpt is much better in terms of how it looks in the manga. One thing I should mention is that the tray that holds the accessories is a bit subpar. Unfortunately, there's no cover on the tray, so it's just plastic that keeps them all together. And it's a bit of a pain when you're putting the accessories back, especially because the accessories are quite delicate, so there should have been a better system to hold them together. Here we have Threezero Guts, the Black Swordsman, straight out of the box in a museum pose. Looks absolutely fantastic. They've done such a great job giving it tremendous shelf presence. The paint applications, the quality of the soft goods under the armor, quality of the plastic, all outstanding. And you have so much detail over here. Look at the belt, look at the coloring, look at that bandaged arm, some blood on it. Some blood soaked up over here, which is so cool. Blood splatter on his forearm. You've also got lots of blood on the armor over here. Plus, you've got some silver dry brushing, bringing it all together very nicely. The mechanical arm, again, blood on it too. I love the fact that these fingers are articulated. Just fantastic. The seamless arms, if I haven't mentioned already, look great. All these battle scars on his face, on his biceps, on his shoulders, forearms. Fantastic. Side profile, outstanding. I think the sculpt looks a bit better from the side. Again, battle scars on the back of the armor. Love these pleather pouches. Hope they don't break down in a few years, but right now they look really good. They've given it the right amount of wear again. And the soft goods behind the armor look really good. The pleather looks good. Shoes look great. Again, they've put a lot of detail into the bandages. I just love that there's blood all over this. That seamless arm looks fantastic. So straight out of the box, I am very impressed with this figure, and I believe that once I get the accessories on, he's going to look even better. Time to look at the articulation. Unfortunately, the manual does not offer too much on how to articulate this figure, so I'm going to be a bit careful, especially considering that the toy feels a bit fragile, and I've had some bad luck with Threezero figures, especially with the wrist pegs, and unfortunately, this toy does not include extra wrist pegs. Head tilts left, tilts right, turns left, but it's held back by the armor. If you don't want to scratch your chin, then I would suggest you don't move it around too much. Looks up very nicely. Looks down very nicely. So when you're moving this shoulder, I would suggest you get this chain out of the way. Otherwise, you're going to break the chain, and it seems a bit fragile. So you move this piece of armor up, and you can get the shoulder up pretty high. And I think I have opened this, so I'm going to close that in a bit. Shoulder moves up very high. Rotates back very nicely too. Can't seem to get too much articulation on the elbow. I'm not going to force it. I do like that this mechanical hand is articulated. I also like that the fingers are articulated. That's pretty cool. Body tilts left just a little bit. Just a little bit. Not much rotation. However, there's a nice ab crunch. Backwards too. Leg kicks forward, but held back by the fabric underneath. You can feel some resistance. Kicks back. Beautiful joint at the knee. Boot tilts left, tilts right. And he stands really well because the boots are quite flat and quite sturdy. Let's check out the bicep movement on the other arm. Let's turn him sideways. Goes up fairly okay. Not too high. It is a seamless arm. But I am going to check it out and put it back how it was. Hand movement is very nice. Full rotation. Just wanted to warn you guys that when I was articulating the shoulder, as you saw, the shoulder strap came undone. I thought that was a magnet that came undone, but unfortunately this strap is attached with a very thin layer of glue. It's very fragile. So that glue came off and this broke. I have repaired it. However, it was very challenging to glue it back, and I would just say please be careful when articulating this figure. Overall, I'm not completely satisfied with the articulation on this toy, and it's not due to the soft goods. They're beautifully crafted, and some hindrance is to be expected on a highly detailed 1/6 scale figure. The problem is the QC issues. For example, this strap broke while I was rotating the shoulder upwards, and I had to re-glue this strap and then had to pass it from here back up there, and it broke 2 or 3 times again, so I had to keep doing it. Then I had to squeeze this area so that it would pass over it without breaking. Unfortunately, when I tried to change the hand, the peg broke inside, and I'm not the first person this happened to. I'm not going to be the last person this has happened to. I do not know why they don't include extra pegs when their figures have this issue. But this peg broke, and then I had to use a screw extractor to get that peg out. And then fortunately, I had a replacement peg from a different Threezero figure, which is black. And yeah, I got that in, finally got it inside here, and it's fine now, but it was very annoying. Inserting the crossbow in the back is a pretty easy task. Simply take out this protective foam. I would say raise the shoulder a little bit, take your crossbow, widen the pouch, and just push it in. There you go, looks pretty neat. Getting the open crossbow on the mechanical arm is also pretty easy. There you go, looks pretty good. To get the Dragon Slayer sword hanging on his back, you simply take the strap and then you pass it under here onto his belt and you hook it up right over here. Then afterwards, you can pass the sword through here. Getting the cape on is also really easy. So you might see the hook over here. You just pass it through, that's it. So you just put this around his neck and then you hook it up. There you go, looks pretty good. I love the fact that it's wired, so you can get all sorts of dynamic poses. I normally don't do a section on changing the sculpts, but there's something interesting I wanted to share with you guys. So when you take out the head on this figure, the peg comes out with it. It's not supposed to. The peg is supposed to stay in there. So how do you get the peg out? I suggest every collector nowadays, especially with the QC on these figures dropping, so I would suggest that every collector have a screw extractor in their arsenal, and these needle nose pliers do is just grip it gently and pull it out. Trust me, you can't do it with your fingers. There you go, looks really good. I would just say that if the peg is not fitting inside the head, another common issue with this toy, just use a hairdryer to expand the hole and you'll get the peg in.
Now let's put Threezero Guts under the portrait lens for a closer look. It's time to take Threezero Guts to the toy room for some fun poses. It's time for some size comparisons, and just to give you an idea of how big a 1/6 scale figure is, here is Threezero Guts next to The Dark Knight Returns Batman by Mafex. Another size comparison, but this time with Skull Knight by Threezero, and these two look fantastic together. Skull Knight, of course, is much bigger, as you would expect. Now we have Threezero Guts Black Swordsman with Threezero Guts Nightmare version, the one with the Berserker armor, and they look good together. Of course, it doesn't make sense that they're together, but they do look good together. The height is, of course, the same. I love that the Nightmare version has a really bloody sword compared to the Black Swordsman. In terms of which one I prefer, easily it's the Nightmare version, and that's because it's much easier to handle, nothing breaks. And the Black Swordsman version is way too delicate for me, even though the Black Swordsman version looks very detailed and very beautiful. My final score for Threezero Guts Black Swordsman is going to be 2 out of 5 stars. I really think this would have been a 5-star figure if it had lived up to its potential. The soft goods are beautifully designed, the accessories including the sword look gorgeous, and that seamless bicep looks good. Unfortunately, at least on my copy of this figure, there were way too many problems. The wrist peg broke too easily through simple articulation. Likewise, the strap on the bicep also snapped. I also can't change the heads without using a blow dryer or needle nose pliers. In addition, the articulation is very disappointing, and the portrait likeness is not as good as it could have been. So while this figure is quite beautiful, it is also too delicate for the price. I would recommend that you be very careful if you buy it and only purchase from a store that offers a guarantee. That's it, folks. That's my review. Overall, a bit disappointed and frustrated with this toy, but that's how it goes sometimes. Please tune in again for more video reviews by Nomad. Please also tap that like button and subscribe button to support my channel. See you guys again soon.